What are the best and worst moments from Jürgen Klopp's time at Liverpool? Stay tuned to find out. Well, what's happening, everybody? I hope yous are all doing well. I thought I would just do a video about my reflections on Jürgen Klopp's time at Liverpool. I know there's still 3 games left to go, but practically Liverpool's season's done. The Arsenal versus Spurs result today effectively guaranteed Liverpool Champions League football. So the next 3 games, I know they're important to play well and to win because we're Liverpool and you have to win every game. But the season's practically done, and I know there will be a lot of these videos made over the next few weeks reflecting on Jurgen Klopp's team. So I thought I would do my own one and just to get people's opinions on it. First of all, I'm going to outline what the video will be detailing. And I'm going to be detailing the best match, best moment, best player, and also worst match, worst moment, and probably worst player as well, although that's a bit hard to do, but I'll try my best in that regard. But first of all, I just want to summarize before I get into all those categories. Summarize Jurgen Klopp's time at Liverpool. He's a legend, and he will go down a legend no matter what happened this season. He's the best manager I've seen at Liverpool. I've been a fan since all my life, but I can remember Liverpool from around 1996. So he's the best manager I've seen at Liverpool. So no matter what happens, he's a legend. Or no matter what happened this season, he was a legend. His legendary status was guaranteed anyway, so it didn't change in that regard. Overall, I would give his tenure at Liverpool a 9 out of 10. Some people will say that's a bit low. Some people will say it's 10 out of 10. There's no doubt in my mind that the first 4 years were 10 out of 10. When he came in 2015, he brought the energy and gathered the fans together and brought a belief back. We had a rubbish squad really back then, but he galvanized the entire club. And over the subsequent 3 years, you could always sense Liverpool getting better and better. Like 2016, when Mane and Joel Matip and Gini Wijnaldum came, you saw Liverpool's style of play really getting into grasps. And I believe they were like top of the league even then in 2016 around Christmas. But due to like injuries and whatever, they tailed off. But eventually got top Champions League back at the club. And then the following year when they brought Salah and Robertson and whatever, and then they got Van Dijk in January. Obviously, they got to the Champions League final, but the football was so exciting. And obviously, the year after, for me, was the culmination of Klopp's tenure. I know they won the league in 2020. But for me, the 2018-19 season was the best. They won the Champions League. And it was 97 points. We all know what happened. Like, Man City won the league, but for me, that was the best Liverpool team I've ever seen, and one of the best teams in English football history, really. So overall, I would say his tenure is a 9 out of 10, but I think the last few years have really not put a dampener on things, but it's been frustrating. There's no two ways to look at it. Like in 2021. Yes, it was the real COVID year, by the way. Like, I know a lot of teams out there call Liverpool, they'll say they won the COVID title, which is a load of... Because at the end of the day, Liverpool played 29 matches that season in front of crowds and were like 1 point or something away from winning the title before COVID hit. But the year after, in 2021, the real COVID season, where basically the entire season was behind closed doors, Liverpool were like top of the league around about Christmas, and due to injuries and stuff like that. Van Dijk obviously out for the season. Joel Matip, just a real raft of injuries. Jota, they dropped back, and for a time it looked as if they were not going to even make top four, but obviously they did. But it was frustrating that season, considering how good the squad was the year before and what position they were in. But there was factors there, whether it was to do with owners' lack of financing replacements or COVID or injuries, as I say. But that was a frustrating year. Even though it ended quite well, finishing third. And 2021-22, people say it was a good season, and it was a very good season. They were going for the quadruple, but considering how deflating it was, um, losing the final to Madrid, and obviously losing in that manner to Man City again, and I also think the signs were there towards the end of like the team was like faltering a bit. Like I can even remember the Villarreal game in the Champions League where they were battered really. I know they got through to the final, but the signs were there. But they won two trophies, which was a good season in the end, but it was frustrating. And then last season was horrific. It was just awful. I can't put any more positive spins on it whatsoever. It was just awful. And in my opinion, this current season, um, I was speaking about this on my Twitter. If you had offered most Liverpool fans before the season to finish third and to win a cup, I'm not going to say they would have bitten your hand off, but I would have taken it, and I'd have saw that as a good step in the right direction. But considering the position Liverpool were in only 4 weeks ago, practically, they were in they already won a cup. They were against Man United in the FA Cup. Always can be losable, and they did lose it, but I was still delighted with the performance. But take that trophy away, they had a, on paper, easy run in the Europa League to the final in Dublin, and were top of the league. And even after drawing with Manchester United, they were joint top with Arsenal, who I still believe Arsenal would have dropped points from them, which they did against Villa, but Liverpool's just capitulated. And given the position Liverpool were in, I would say this season has been disappointing all around. So it's sort of taken just a bit of a positivity off Jurgen's reign. But as I say, overall, I would rate his tenure at Liverpool a very good 9, a brilliant 9 out of 10, to be honest. um, Considering like Rafa Benitez, a probably like not a perfectionist, but I say things bluntly. Like I would rate Rafa's team like a 8. Jared Hillier's team 7.5. Do you know what I mean? But so Jurgen's definitely the best. Um, but yeah, I'm going to get into the categories now. Starting off with best match, and by best match I mean probably the most exciting. So I'm not on about like the best match where like Liverpool win 9-0 or something. But in my opinion, the best match that I have seen Liverpool in, they probably actually lost the game. They actually did lose the game, and a lot of people, well, actually lost the game 3-0. And people may find this surprising when I say this, but it was against Barcelona away in the Nou Camp. And the reason why I say it's the best match, they were up against Suarez, Coutinho, Messi, and Messi obviously scored that wonderful free kick against Alisson. But I feel the quality of that match was unbelievable. I still can't to this day understand how Liverpool never won that match. It was probably the best I've ever seen Liverpool play. Definitely in Europe. And it's mad to say they lost the game 3-0. You can put it down to like luck, or you can put it down to the genius of Messi, but I do not know. Liverpool were unbelievable on the night. They were just unbelievable. So I would say that's the best match. Honourable shouts out there to like this year against Man City was a brilliant match at Anfield. They were all good games against Man City, really. There was other crackers in there too. I can remember Norwich, it was 5-4 and stuff, but in terms of quality of football, like that 3-0, or even another match they lost, which was the year they got 97 points away to Man City. They lost 2-1 at the Etihad. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm all about quality. And the quality in that Barcelona away game, even though they lost 3-0, was, I cannot remember Liverpool playing as good ever, especially away at the Nou Camp. And this was against prime Barcelona. um, and Liverpool battered them really, and I don't know how, but yeah, for me that was the best match. As bizarre as it sounds. Most memorable moment, probably no surprise. Come back to Barcelona, but this time it's at Anfield. The 4-0. For me it was just, it'll go down in memory, not only in Liverpool but Champions League history. Probably the greatest night in Anfield history. Just unbelievable. And the scenario around it, as it says, the week before, or 2 weeks, I don't know when it was, to play Barcelona away. I still to this day say Liverpool were much, much better in the away game than they were in the game they actually won 4-0. But yeah, the whole scenarios around it, like Man City the night before just beat Leicester with a Vincent Kompany wonder goal. So it looked as if they were going to win the league, which they eventually did. And then there was Mo Salah was injured, Bobby Firmino was injured. I know, was it Robertson was taken off at half time. So, but just the on-field factor and the manner in the match, like corner taken quickly and all that, and obviously the fact that Liverpool went on to win the Champions League for the 6th time, for me it had to be the most memorable moment. And I know a lot of Liverpool fans will say winning the league and also winning the Champions League, but for me, that for me is the best moment. Best player is a difficult one. I'm going to say the top 5. For me, the best player would probably be Van Dijk. I would say Van Dijk just because I think Van Dijk really pushed him to that next level. I would say when he came in, obviously he got to the Champions League final that year, then the year the one, next year the one, and he was probably deserved the Ballon d'Or, let's be honest. And then the year after won the league. So I'd say Van Dijk was the best overall. But the top 5, in no particular order, would be Virgil van Dijk, Virgil van Dijk, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, Alisson. They are undisputed. For me, they would definitely be in the top 5. The other ones very debatable, and I'm going to just mention a few names: Bobby Firmino, Gini Wijnaldum, Jordan Henderson, Andy Robertson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Fabinho. Yeah. But the player I'm going to give it to will be... What's a tough one? I'll probably give it to Bobby Firmino. Just because he was crucial for that front 3. He just was, like, he was the blender. So they would be the top 5 players. But overall, Van Dijk gets the best player. Forgot about the mention this category, but I will mention it. Best goal. So the best goal scored under Jürgen Klopp. Again, it sounds bizarre, but it was in another game we actually lost, and it was that game I mentioned a while ago in the Man City away game. They actually lost 2-1. The quality of football in that goal, it just was like pass, say words. You know what I mean? Liverpool kept the ball against prime Man City, by the way. And then it was like Trent Alexander-Arnold, a big raking ball over to Robertson, who volleys it across, and then Bobby Firmino heads it in. For me, that's the best goal. That was just a pure team goal. There was a lot of other crackers in there as well, but for me, that was the absolute best. And then, regarding like the worst moments, I have to do it just because, to be fair, but worst match, there's been also a few as well, let's be honest. Some of them in there was like, I know they lost 5-0 and 4-0 to Man City and 4-1 at Anfield. They lost, was it 8-2 to Villa? But for me, the worst one was actually this year against Atalanta. Honestly, I have to say it. For me, that was the worst ever Liverpool performance in Europe. I know there was some horrific ones in the 90s, but considering where Liverpool were at that time, as I say, clear favourites to win the tournament, final in Dublin, and they were absolutely battered at home by Atalanta. no disrespect to Atalanta, but if it had been somebody like, I don't know, Bayern Munich or something, or Real Madrid. I know Liverpool lost the year before heavily to Real Madrid, but it's understandable considering the quality of opposition. And again, no disrespect to Atalanta, but 3-0 at Anfield to Atalanta, nah, for me that was the worst. Worst game, I mean, in terms of worst moment, it has to be 2022. Um, it just ended so deflatingly, like, considering they were going for the quadruple. It's been this season also must be up there. This last month has just been awful. Um, just the manner in which 2022 went, like losing the Champions League final, but obviously like Aston Villa been 2-0 up with like whatever it was, 15 minutes to go. um, yeah, that for me would be the worst moment. And then I says I was going to do it. Worst player. Um, it's hard to tell, and it's probably a bit harsh because no player's real bad. There's like some players it's hard to actually pick. What I mean is like some players have been bought and rarely featured. Do you know what I mean? Some players have been bought and have either caused a storm or so. So the way I'm going to select this is players who actually was there quite a long time, um, and just didn't live up to their expectations. Were probably decent, but I'm going to say Naby Keita. And the reason why I say Naby Keita is the expectations on him. And when Liverpool signed him that summer of 2017-18, I think even though they signed Alisson and Fabinho, and he was signed on a pre-contract, I think he was the one everybody was excited about. Like the long-term successor to Stevie G. But whether it be fallouts, I don't know, or fitness or injuries, it just didn't work out. And it was just so frustrating. I know he won a lot, and while he was here, we won everything, but just so frustrating. And for me, he would be the number one. In terms of like not worst player, but most frustrating. Worst player is probably wrong way to put it, but yeah, that's who I would pick. And then again, just to summarize, Jürgen Klopps a legend. He's legendary here. I don't know what the club's going to do in regards to like commemoration, where they're going to name a stand after him or put a plaque up or a statue or something like that there, because he will deserve it. I don't know if now's the time to do it or in 10 years or whatever, but he will be deserving of stuff like that as time goes on. And I, I will say as well, there is issues with the current squad. This will probably be topic of another video. There's certain players need sold. But I do also think that he has left a crop of very, very talented young players, especially who will Arnie Slot will inherit. And I just hope that Arnie Slot can gel them together and add players and add a bit more style onto it. To really build, not necessarily on Jurgen's legacy, but to build his own legacy with those players. But yeah, what does everybody think?